Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video I've been wanting to do for a very long time, ever since we got the Mini Cooper. And as you guys can, oh my god, that sun is bright. As you guys can tell from the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be putting coilovers on the Mini Cooper, and it's going to be slammed. So stay tuned. I want to explain kind of why I bought these specific ones. So if you guys remember, a few weeks ago I replaced these strut mounts on the Mini Cooper, and they're doing just fine. That's just typical paint, or not paint, but the first layer of rubber that's coming off. When it's compressed, it actually pushes it up a little bit, which is supposed to do that, and as a result, that first layer of rubberized plastic, whatever that stuff is, just flakes off, and you know, it's good to go from there. But when I installed those strut mounts, I don't know if I told you guys in the vlog, but the actual strut assembly, the shock assembly in the strut, is blown. I was able to pull it up and pull it down without hesitation, so that is why I ordered coilovers. The other thing is, this is not going to be a track built car. It's solely going to be daily driven 2 to 3 times a week. And we just want to not only make it look more appealing, but also we want to lower it a little bit more. Now, I'm sorry if the lighting is bad. The light only comes like 5 feet into the bay and all that. It shouldn't look that dark on camera. But yeah, the coilovers that I bought are cheap. They are Raceland coilovers, so go ahead and drop some hate down below if you guys don't like Raceland. We actually had Racelands on her Scion TC I'm not going to say a few years ago, but probably 2010. She had a RS1 Scion TC, which is the release series 1.0. It was the red one that they only made for a year. Excuse me. Anyways, we had coilovers on that. We had Rota grid wheels, so typical rep setup. Now, you guys know how I'm into branding when it comes to cars, so I don't like to go cheap. But in this position, in this specific scenario, even if this was my specific car, I would have bought the same coilovers, because like I said, they're cheap. They have one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to go low. The spring rates are not the best, but this is already a stiff, sporty ride, so I'm probably not going to even notice a difference in ride quality. I hardly think we're going to notice a ride quality difference. So with that being said, there's the box. So it's got fronts and rears, and I also rented a strut spring compressor this time. I'm not going to do it the easy way, which ended up being the hard way for me last time. So I'm also going to be wearing gloves, so I do not have to scrub my hands 2 to 3 days later. And already got the car on jack stands. Going to go ahead and do the fronts, which are the most time consuming, but they're pretty easy. It's one 18mm bolt that holds the knuckle. It's like a pinch bolt that holds the knuckle secure on the bottom of the strut, and then 3 13mm bolts that hold it to the strut tower. And got to remove the end link, or I'm sorry, the sway bar end link bolt that is attached to the strut, and I believe that's it. And then move the brake line away from the strut as well, and it will come right out. So I'm going to go ahead and take the wheels off the front and get started. So I am doing, I'd say 25 right now, and I've got the hazards on because like I said, when I max it out, it's completely slammed, front and rear. So what that means is now the very, very bottom coil is now rubbing up against the inside of the front tires. And I can kind of hear it. It's like a whirling, kind of like when you have bad wheel bearings, but it's not as loud as a bad wheel bearing. Kind of like just loud tires against the road. But I don't want to go faster than this because, well, for one, I've never had that issue where it rubs against the tire. And two, I don't want to cause a blowout with my tires from them rubbing the bottom coil. I don't know if that can happen. I don't want them to blow out. Like I said, I've never had that happen before, but if I can prevent the tire rubbing against the, I think it's like a rubberized coating that's on the metal coil spring itself, and it'll probably just rub through the coating, which is fine, but I don't want to create so much heat and so much friction in the tire that it will cause it to maybe bubble up and implode or explode. I'm not sure if that's even possible, but I don't have the greatest luck when it comes to this type of stuff, so oh well. I'm headed back to the parts store to return the springs, the strut spring compressor, whatever tools. Yeah, strut spring compressor tool or whatever, decompressor tool. Gonna return them. They were $65 at Advance. They must believe in those things to charge them $65. But I'll get the refund for that, and I'm gonna see if they have some spacers. So when I get home, I'll just jack it up a little bit, if I can get my jack under there, and put the spacer on. That way I don't have this issue and I can do regular speed. The purpose of this video was not to show that I was slamming the car. The purpose was to basically show those people who are looking for R50 and R53 content of Raceland coilovers and how it looks when it's slammed. There's not a lot of R50 and R53 videos containing these coilovers on YouTube. There's a lot of installs, but there's no, you know, videos showing what it looks like when it's completely slammed. So I hope this video helps you guys at least get an idea. Now keep in mind the Mini Cooper rear end is always going to sag a little bit lower than the front. That's just how the rake was designed. It's got a reverse rake to it, kind of like the Volkswagen, but shockingly those springs that I put on that didn't give it a reverse rake. It leveled it out. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, make sure you're subscribed, and we'll see you guys on the next one.